Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about the visual pathway and the visual field defect associated with it. Like what is the anatomy and the physiology of the optic pathway, and what are the different lesions associated with the damaging at different sites along the optic pathway, and what it is going to cause in the eye. What are the defects? So let's just start with it. So this is the basic diagram which I am showing you, and when we will proceed further with our presentation, then this diagram is going to be very congested. I will advise you that just don't be afraid of that slide, because I will take you step by step to that congested slide, so that you will be able to understand all the steps which are needed to reach at the level at that level. So I am starting with the first with the anatomy of the optic pathway, like from where are the fibers coming, what are the different structures where the fibers are going, and what fiber is representing which side of the eye, what are the visual fields and what are its components. Then we will talk about different lesions, like if the lesion is at the right or the left side, then where is the going to be the defect. If it's in the optic tract, optic nerve, in the occipital lobe, in the optic radiation, then what will it cause and what it is called and how we can pronounce it and how we can understand it. So just be with me and try to understand the visual pathway. Just don't, I will advise you, just don't ratify. Like if the lesion or there is the damage of the left optic tract, then this will be the lesion, or if there is the damage of the left optic radiation, then this will be the lesion. Just don't ratify it, try to understand it. Once you have understood it, then it will be very easy for you if they gave you any lesion from any side of the optic pathway. So let's just start with it. This is just basic diagram, you all know about it. Like this is our representing left eyeball, this is our right eyeball. You can see there, here from the left eyeball is coming the left optic nerve. This is the mistake, just correct it. This is left optic nerve. There is coming the left optic nerve, there is coming the right optic nerve, then they are merging at the optic chiasma, and from there are the fibers which are coming and making the left optic tract, and then they will end up into the left lateral geniculate body. Then there is the left right optic tract, which is then end up into the right lateral geniculate body. And here are the occipital lobes, right and left. We will talk about them later on. First thing, as you see, I am showing here, this is the red line, this is the blue line. As we know that this side of the left eyeball is close to the temple, and same is that this side of the right eyeball is close to the temple. So we have given the name, this is the right eye temporal hemiretina, and this is the left eye temporal hemiretina. While these sides of this side of the left eyeball and this side of the right eyeball, these are close to the nose. So this is called as the left eye nasal hemiretina, and this is called as the right eye nasal hemiretina. So you need to be clear about it, which is the temporal side and which is the nasal side. Then here these two circles, these are representing the visual fields. Like this circle is representing the left eye visual field, and this is representing the right eye visual field, and all of these things are about this, all of this optic pathway and the associated defects. We will talk about these two things, the left eye visual field and the right eye visual field. So as we will proceed further, you can see that this is the left eye visual field, and Allah has created our eye in such that we, or I suppose if this is the left eye visual field, then it has two components. You can say this is the two components. This is superior and this is this is the left, this is from on the close to the temporal side. You can see that this is on the temporal side, so this is called as the temporal left eye visual field. As I have divided in this, so this is the temporal left eye visual field, and as this part is along the nasal side, so this is called as the nasal left eye visual field. Same is the case for the right eye visual field. this and we have divided into two parts, two components, and this component is along the nasal side, so we will call it as the nasal right eye visual field. And this is along the temple side, so this is called as the temporal right eye visual field. So you need to be very clear about the what is the temporal hemiretina, what is the nasal hemiretina. Then when we talk about the visual fields, eye visual field, then you need to know about which is the temporal side and which is the nasal side. But for the sake of convenience, for your convenience and to make it easy for you, the all the defects I am giving the names of I am dividing them into the right and left parts. Like we will say that as this is the temporal side and this is the right side of the eye, of the right eye visual field, so we will divide them into the right eye, and this is going to be left side, so this is the left side. And same is the case for the left eye visual field. This is the right side, as this is the right side, and this is going to be left side, so we will call it as the left side. So this is right left, right left. So you need to be very clear about it, about the nasal and temporal and the right and the left. And as we proceed further in our presentation, all we will talk about the right and the left parts of the right and the left eye visual field. So you need to be clear about it and just understand it. Then there is one rule I am going to give you, and you have to remember it, and there will be no ambiguity while interpreting the visual field path and pathway defects. This is all about it, and we will use it many times. Anything coming from the right side is going to the left side, and anything coming from the left side is going to be right side. Okay. When we are describing the pathway, like how the optic nerve is going to form and how the optic tract is going to be formed, then we will see this, that anything coming from the right side has to go to the left side, and anything coming from the left side has to go to the right side. Then any damaging on the right side is going to cause the lesion on the left side, and any damaging on the left side is going to cause the lesion on the right side. So when we will interpret the associated defects, visual pathway defects, then this thing we will see that anything damaging the right side is going to cause the defect on the left side. So anything damaging on the left side is going to cause the defect on the right side. So you need to be very clear about it. Just remember it, and this will be very easy for you. So let's just start with it. As you see that this is the temporal hemiretina. One thing and another thing I want you to be clear about it. So I am going to describe for you it. This is called as this is the our eyeball. So this is, we can say that this is the superior part of retina, or this is the nasal part, but we will another name we can give it. This is the superior part and this is the inferior part. Okay. I think there should be no ambiguity among it, because this is the upper side and this is the lower side, so it will be superior side and this will be inferior side. And this is our visual pathway. So you can obviously this is the upper side and this is the lower side, so this going to be superior and this going to be inferior side. As you can say that from the superior part of the visual, that is from the upper side, there is going to be the light rays that are striking at the inferior part, that is the temporal hemiretina. This is going to be inferior part of the retina. So from the upper side of the visual or superior side of the visual field of the eye, the light rays are striking at the inferior part. So you need to understand that if there is damage of the inferior retina or inferior retinal fibers along the pathway, then this is going to cause the defect in the superior part of the eye visual field. Okay, I am repeating it, that if there as the from the superior part of this visual right eye's visual field, the light rays are striking at the inferior part of the retina. So if there is damage of the inferior retina or inferior retinal fibers along the pathway, these are going to cause the defect, or these are going to cause the defect in the superior part of the visual field, eye visual field. Same is the case when this from the lower side or the inferior side, the light rays are going to strike here among in at the in superior part of the retina. So when there is going to be damage of the superior retinal fibers along the pathway, they are going to cause the damage in the inferior part of the eye visual field. Okay, this is opposite. Inferior retinal fibers or inferior retina damage causes the defect in the superior visual field defect, while the superior retinal fiber, the superior retina damage, they are going to cause the inferior part of the visual field. This will come as we will proceed further, but I want you to understand these basic mechanism of basic things, basic explanations here, so that there will be no ambiguity later on. So we see that there are the light rays coming here, and this is the right eye visual field, and we have divided it into the right and the left. So the light rays are coming from the left side of the right eye visual field. So they are coming from the here. So what we said here, that anything coming from the left has to go on the right side. So anything coming from the left, this is the left side of the right eye visual field, so these are coming from the left side, it has to go on the right side. As we know, this is already right eyeball and this is already right optic nerve, so it doesn't need to cross. It will remain on the same side, and then it will go cross the this thing, and it will join the it will form the right optic tract and will end up into the lateral geniculate body. Okay, we have applied this rule here that anything coming from the right has to go on the right side. As it is already on the right side, so it will remain on the same side and will end up at the lateral geniculate body. Then what next? Here from the other light rays from the inferior part are, this is the right part of the right eye visual field. So here the light rays are striking here. So as what was the rule? Anything coming from the right has to go to the left. So this is the right component of the right eye visual field. So this is coming from the right side, so it has to go on the left side, because this is the right eyeball, this is the right optic nerve, and this is the right optic tract, so it cannot come here, so it has to go on the left side. So it will cross to the opposite side and will join the optic tract and will make the optic tract, and then will end up at the lateral geniculate body of the left side. Okay, I think you have I have made it understand to you. Next thing is same is for the left eyeball. See here, the left part component of the left eye visual field, here the rays are coming, and anything from the left has to go onto the right side. So as this is the left eyeball, left optic nerve, this is the left optic tract, so it cannot stay on the left side because it is coming from the left, so it has to go on the right side. So this will cross the fibers and will go to the opposite side and will make the optic tract along with this fiber, and will end up into the lateral geniculate body of the right side. So same is thing for the other. Next is, this is the right component of the left eye visual field, so the right rays are coming here, or what is the rule? Anything coming from the right has to go on the left side. So as this is coming from the right side, so but this is the it has to go on the left side, but it is already on the left side because this is the left eyeball, this is the left optic nerve, and this is the left optic tract. So it will remain on the same side and will join the other fibers in the left optic tract and will end up at the lateral geniculate body. So these are the fibers which will remain on the same side of the both eyes. These are called as the ipsilateral fibers, while the fibers which are crossing onto the opposite sides, these are called as the contralateral fibers, and they are crossing at the optic chiasma. What will happen next? Then from the both lateral geniculate bodies of the right and the left sides, there will be fibers which will come out, and these fibers are called collectively as the optic radiation. This is the right optic radiation, this is the left optic radiation as it is on the left side, and this is the right optic radiation on as it is on the right side. But optic radiation, it is called as the whole. They are divided into the two parts, every optic radiation. This is called as the superior retinal fibers, as I have written here. These are called as the superior retinal fibers, as these are crossing through the parietal lobe and then they will end up into the occipital lobe. And the other ones, these are called as the inferior retinal fibers, as they are passing through the temporal lobe and then they will end up at the right occipital lobe. So this is the right optic radiation, which is divided into the right superior retinal fibers and the right inferior retinal fibers, and then they will, because this is passing through the parietal lobe and these are passing through the temporal lobe, and then they will end up at the right occipital lobe. And same is the case for the left side. This is the left optic radiation, which is divided into the left superior retinal fibers, which are passing through the parietal lobe and will end up into the left occipital lobe. And these are the left inferior retinal fibers, which are passing through the temporal lobe and they will end up into the left occipital lobe. And in the occipital lobe, where they are going into the striate cortex, which is called as the primary visual cortex, and where the image is formed, that is the primary visual cortex. So this is all about the optic pathway. Now we will talk about the lesions, and I have divided, like in the orange, you can say see there, these are the orange. I have marked them with the orange color. There are the 8 lesions. First lesion here, this is the right optic nerve. Second lesion here, this is the optic chiasma. Third lesion is here, these are both sided ipsilateral fibers. Then fourth lesion is here, the right optic tract. Fifth lesion is here, right superior retinal fibers. Sixth lesion, right inferior retinal fibers. And the seventh is when the whole the optic radiation of the left side is damaged, including both superior and the inferior retinal fibers. And then 8 is when the lesion is in the occipital lobe. We will talk about, as I have marked here only one sided, like here I have only marked the right optic nerve, but we will talk about both sides, right and the left, so that you can interpret when the left sided lesion come or when the right sided lesion come. So first thing is first, like as I already told you, I have written mistakenly here, this is the right optic nerve and this is the left optic nerve. Just correct it, as I have scanned all the images I made and put it in the presentation, so I was not able to correct them. But you should correct, but please correct them while you are taking notes. This is the right optic nerve, obviously. So what is going to happen here? Here I have drawn these visual fields. This is the left visual field here and the right visual eye visual field here, and I have divided them again. And just consider that this is the left, this is the right, as I have written here, and this is the left and this is the right, as I have written here. So this thing should be in your mind, and then we will proceed further. When there is the damage of the right optic nerve, whole of the optic nerve, it means both of the right these fibers are going to damage. If we trace this fiber backward, this is going to be here, this is the left this is the left component of the right eye visual field. So this is left, I have shaded it, this is the left component of the right eye visual field. And when if we trace this fiber along backward, then this is going from the coming from the right component of the right eye visual field. So this is the right component of the right eye visual field. It means you are going to get the right monoocular blindness. Your whole one eye is going to be damaged and it cannot see. So this is going to be right-sided blindness, monoocular blindness is we call it. But what happens if there is the same thing, is the damage of the left-sided optic nerve? Both of these then it will happen same like this. These fibers are going to be traced backward. This is the right side of the left visual field. We will shade this thing, this right part. And if we trace these fibers backward, this is going to be left component of the left visual field, and this is the left component. We will shade it. So this is going to, if there is the damage of the left optic nerve, then this area, whole area is going to be shaded. It means it will be left monoocular blindness or left-sided eye blindness. Then there is going to be second lesion, that is here at the optic chiasma. I have also drawn same here, these visual fields. This is the left visual field, this is the right visual field. So what it is going to cause here, let's see. This is the optic chiasma. Here is the lesion, and here two fibers are damaging. One fiber this, and the second one is this. If we trace the first fiber, this is the fiber. If we trace it, it's coming from the left component of the left eye visual field. So we are going to shade here. This is the left component of the left visual field. So we shade it. I have shaded it here. So where are the second fibers coming from? This is the second fiber. If we trace it backward, it's coming from the this right component of the right eye visual field. So we are going to trace here the right component of the right visual field. I have shaded it here. So this is the lesion we get after damaging the optic chiasma here. So what it is called, as you can see that this is the temporal side, this is the nasal side, this is the nasal side, this is the temporal side, as we have already discussed it. So if we see that temporal side of the left eye visual field and this is the same temporal field of the right eye visual field are defected, it means both eyes visual fields, among the both eyes visual field, only both temporal sides are affected. That's why it is called as the bitemporal heminopia. This is the left temporal field, this is the right temporal field, and both are affected. That's why we call it as the bitemporal heminopia. Okay, even if the lesion is on this side, if this is the side, if this side, then it is going to be the same bitemporal heminopia, because this is the same fiber and this is the same fiber which are going to be damaged. So it is causing the same thing, that is the bitemporal heminopia. And this is what it looks like. These are the nasal sides which are preserved, and this is there from the left side temporal and from the right side temporal, these are damaged. Now the third lesion. This is the third lesion, both-sided ipsilateral fibers. So if we talk about this left-sided ipsilateral fiber and we trace it here, I have drawn the both eye visual fields, left-sided and right-sided visual fields, and we will talk about the fibers, and then we will see where we have to shade it. So this is going to be the fiber which is affected in this ipsilateral fiber damage. So if we trace it backward, from where it is coming from the right component of the left eye visual field. So this is the left eye visual field and this is the right component, so I have shaded it here. So and from the other side, from the right side, if I trace it backward, this component, then what is going to be happen? This is coming from the this is going backward. This is coming from the left side component of the right eye visual field. This is the right eye visual field and this is its left component. So I have shaded it here. So now what it looks like, you can see that this is the temporal side of the left eye visual field and this is the nasal side of the left visual field, and this is the nasal side of the right eye visual field and this is the temporal side of the right eye visual field, as we have already discussed it. So what is happening here, that this is the nasal field of the left side and this is the nasal field of the right side. It means both eyes visual fields among their nasal sides are affected. That's why it is called as binasal heminopia. It means the nasal sides of the both left and the right eye visual fields are affected. That's why it is called as the binasal heminopia. This is binasal heminopia. Both sided temporal sides are preserved while the right side, the nasal sides are affected. Now we are going this one, the third lesion. Now we are going to the fourth lesion. Here there is the fourth lesion. This is the right optic tract and here is the lesion. I have drawn again the visual fields, left visual field and right visual field. So this there is the damage, there is the cut in the right optic tract. What it's going to cause. Now we have to trace again the fibers. This fiber is coming. If we trace back, it is coming from the left component of the left eye visual field. So here this is the left component of the left visual field, so we have shaded it here. If we trace the other fiber, this is going to be where it is coming from, here. Okay, this is also coming from the left component of the right eye visual field. So this is the left component of the right eye visual field, so we have shaded it here, so we get a defect. So what we are going to call it, there as we already know, and I have tell you a rule, anything from the any damage from the right side is causing the lesion on the left side, and any damage on the left side is causing the lesion on the right side. So this is the right side, right optic tract. So any the damage on the right optic tract is going to cause the lesion on the left side, as we see here. Both of the left eye visual field and right eye visual field, they are having damage, or affected side is left side. This is the left side of the left component of the left eye visual field, and this is the left component of the right eye visual field. So this is the left sided lesion. So this is called as the left homonymous hemianopia, right optic tract damage, and it is causing the left homonymous hemianopia. What will happen if we have here left optic tract damage? If we trace out these fibers, this is the fiber, this is coming from the right component of the left eye visual field. It means this area is going to be shaded. And if we trace these fibers from the backward, this is coming from the right component of the right eye visual field, and this area will be shaded. So this will become the right homonymous hemianopia, as this is the lesion left sided. So any damage on the left side is going to cause on the right side lesion on the right side. So then in case of left optic tract, it will become right homonymous hemianopia, and this one will be shaded in the left optic tract damage. So this was the fourth lesion. Now we will talk about the fifth. Where is the fifth one? Okay, here is the fifth one. Before going to the fifth one, I want to make you okay. Now we are coming to the fifth lesion, that is here, and this, what is this? This is the right sided superior retinal fibers. Okay, as we already talked about that anything any lesion from any damage on the right side is going to cause the lesion on the left side. So these are the right superior retinal fibers which are damaging here. So we know that so there will be the lesion on the left side. So this is left, this is this upper one. So this is the left side of the left component of the left eye visual field here. This is the left component of the left eye visual field. The lesion will be there, and this is the left component of the right eye visual field. The lesion will be there. So this is one thing is this. Two things we need to consider in this. One is the where side of lesion, as these are the right superior retinal fibers, so the lesion will be on the left side, as we have already discussed. Lesion will be here and here. Then the second thing is that, as I already told about when we initially discussed, that this is the superior retina, this is the inferior retina, and the inferior part is receiving the light rays from the upper part or superior part of the eye visual field defect. So we already discussed that anything damaging the inferior retinal fibers of retina is going to cause the defect in the superior visual field, and any defect into the superior retinal fibers is going to cause the defect into the inferior visual field. So their superior retinal fibers are going to be damaged, so they are going to cause the damage or defect into the inferior visual field. So it will be left and the inferior visual field. So this is left side. Further we have divided among them among superior and the inferior. If you see from this side, right, your eye side, you can see that this is the visual field, this is your left, this is your right, this is your left, this is your right. When you are seeing from this, as your eye is here, I cannot write here down, so this is you are seeing from this thing. So we have divided into the four components. You can see that if you are seeing from this side, you can see that these are the superior quadrants and these are the inferior quadrants. Similarly here, these are the superior quadrants and these are the inferior quadrants. So as we already discussed, left and the superior, we already see this is the left, this is the left, and inferior. So we talked about this is superior and this is inferior. So this is going to be left and inferior, we shaded it here, and this is left and this is inferior, so we shaded it here. So this becomes left inferior quadrant hemianopia. Okay, if we talked about that, if we this was the right sided superior retinal fibers damage. If we talk about the left sided superior retinal fibers, here is the damage. So as this is the left sided, so the lesion will be on the right side, so lesion will be here and here. This is the right component, this is the right component, and as these are the superior fibers, so the damage will be in the inferior quadrant. So when the left sided damage of the superior retinal fiber will occur, then there will be the defect in the right inferior quadrant hemianopia. So this will be here shaded, this is the right side and this is the inferior side, this is going to be here, and this is the right component, this is the inferior component, and this will be shaded here. So it will become right inferior quadrant hemianopia. Then the sixth one lesion is here. This is the right sided inferior retinal fiber. Same thing is that if it is going to be right sided damage, it's going to cause the lesion on the left side. So here I have again draw the both visual fields, left eye visual field, right eye visual field. This is the left component of the left eye visual field, this is the right component, this is the left component of the right eye visual field, and this is the right component. Then again I have divided them into the superior and the inferior. As if you seeing from here right side, if you seeing from here with your eyes, you can see that this is the superior quadrants, these are, and these are the inferior quadrants. So when this is the right sided lesion, so the damage is going to be on the left side, this is the left side and this is the left side, we know that. And as they are the inferior retinal fibers, so the quadrant will be superior visual field, there will be defect in the superior visual field. So left sided superior visual, this is the left and this is the superior of the left side, and this is the left and this is the superior of the left side. So it's going to be left superior quadrant hemianopia. Again there is a mistake, I think I was in a very tired, that's why I have made these mistakes. This is going to be here left, I have written as here right superior quadrant hemianopia. No, this is wrong. There is left superior quadrant hemianopia. Please make into correction into your notes. This is left superior quadrant hemianopia because the lesion is on the right side. If the same thing happens on the left side, there is the left sided, so we know that the lesion will be on the right side, lesion will be on the here and the here, and as the inferior retinal fiber, so it will be superior quadrant. So there will be right superior quadrant hemianopia with shading of this and shading of this. Then comes the seventh the lesion. This is the seventh lesion, in which whole the both of these superior retinal fibers, inferior retinal fibers are going to be damaged, which are making the on the whole the optic radiation. So this is the left side, and left side whole optic radiation is going to be damaged. This is, so I also make a mistake here. This is left optic radiation and this is right optic radiation. I think मेरा right to left काफी confuse हुआ था उस time पे. So left optic radiation damage, what it is going to be cause, as this is the left optic radiation, so it's anything damages on the left side going to cause the defect on the right side, opposite side. So left, there will be lesion on the right side. So I have drawn here the visual fields, and we know that this is the right side of the left eye visual field. Here I have shaded it the right side of the left visual field, and we know that this is the right side of the right eye visual field. Here I have shaded it here right component of the right eye visual field, and as both and inferior and superior quadrants are involved, both inferior and superior retinal fibers are both damaged, so we have shaded it whole. As this was superior, this was inferior, so we have shaded it all. So what it is going to be caused as causing, as you can see that the lesion is this is the right side this of the left eye visual field, and this is the right side of the left eye visual field. So we are going to cause it as say it as right homonymous hemianopia, as we see in the right optic tract damage. In the right optic tract damage, it was left homonymous hemianopia. In the left optic tract damage, it was right homonymous hemianopia. So these are causing the same thing. left optic tract and the left optic radiation are going to cause the same lesion, that is the right homonymous hemianopia, and the right optic tract and the right optic radiation damage is causing the same lesion, that is the left homonymous hemianopia. So the eighth one is occipital loop. If there is any damage to the occipital loop, that is the compromised blood supply, we can see that, you know, that the occipital loop is supplied by the two arteries, that is the posterior cerebral artery and the middle cerebral artery, and there is an area in our eye that is called as the macula, that is the very sensitive area. So suppose if there is a damage to the posterior cerebral artery, suppose that is occluded because of any tumor or any other stroke or anything, something else, so the blood supply to the occipital loop is compromised, but it is also receiving the blood supply from the middle cerebral artery. So the priority of our body or brain is that it has to spare the macula, it has to give the blood supply on priority basis to the macula. So the macula will be spared here because of the middle cerebral artery, which is also supplying to the occipital lobe, but we will get the lesion with macular sparing. So as this is the right occipital lobe, so we will get the lesion, anything from the right side damage causing the lesion on the defect on the left side. So this is the right occipital lobe, but we will get the lesion on the left side. So this is the left side component of the left eye visual field, here this is shaded here, and this is the left component of the right eye visual field, this is here shaded here, but this is the small area circle in the middle, it is showing as the macula with macular sparing. So as this is the left sided, same side again affecting, so it is called as the left homonymous hemianopia with macular sparing. Okay. So this was all about the optic pathway and the associated defects. You need to just understand and just remember these pathways. Just remember the fibers from where they are coming and where they are going, and then there will be no ambiguity, and you will be able to understand each and every defect of this pathway. So if you have any questions, you can ask me in the Telegram group or in the Facebook or the WhatsApp group, and I will answer there. And up till then, thank you so much.